All right, so you see her brows? They were good to begin with. So I just cleaned them up. I just defined them more, that's all. Set up here. I'm Amy. I don't know if any of you know who I am. I'm known as the kitten tamer. Feeling smitten, I teach you guys how to fancy the kitten because everybody's lady bits deserve to sparkle. So basically, I'm an advanced waxing instructor, and I certify people who are estheticians or students in doing Brazilian waxing, which you don't learn in school, and also speed waxing techniques. And if you want to do like boot camp brows, I do all these advanced classes. I do things a lot different than what you're taught in school, but as being an advanced waxing educator, I also taught esthetician school. So I know they tell you to follow the hair growth, pull again, like all that stuff. That's so you pass state board, plain and simple. In the real world, it doesn't always work that way. So if you see me doing something, you're like, wait, that's not in the book, or that it bought me a house, I guarantee you it works. Make sense? Okay? I'm still able to do this, and like tomorrow I have like whatever I want to do, just because I've learned different ways of waxing, okay? Main thing is you don't want to double dip, regardless. Don't double dip. It's gross. It will pass things. You don't want to go somewhere where they've used the same wax stick all day long, right? You don't know who, what, where. Not a thing, okay? So I know sticks and stuff get really expensive. So what I use, popsicle sticks, all right? I use these for everything. I get them at Walmart, I get them at Michael's, I pay $4.99, and I get like 400. All right, you guys, if you got a lot of money, go online, esthetician sticks, you'll get like 12 for $13.99, right? That's because someone was really smart and marketed popsicle sticks. Got it? So what I do, did I give you my cards to pass? You guys all got that? That's my personal cell phone number, which I run a whole business off of. That and Facebook, okay? So my whole business is all based on social media and teaching classes. So just so you know, your license is no different than mine, except it's cosmetology, esthetician. But you know what I'm saying? You all can be teachers. You all can find a skill, whether it's like, you know, boot camp blow dries, and educate other people, all right? So don't sell yourself short. I always tell people, there's so many opportunities in this business. I don't like to share my money, so I don't like to work under anybody. I work for me. Make sense? All right. If I go too fast, tell me. And if it's too much of a comedy show, tell me. And like this. Do you see how they're formed like this? These are the best eyebrow sticks, okay? This will do your middle. If I need it smaller, I break it, and it's smaller, okay? Because when you're doing and working for yourself, whose money is this? Yours, right? So I'm going to use one stick on one person and save my money. Make sense? All right. And you want to sanitize their hands. Anyone know why? Yeah, what's the first thing you do when you get your brows done? You're like looking in your mirror, you're like, wait, what? Right? We all do that. Okay, so if you're wondering why they're calling and they have a breakout, it's because they put their dirty paws on their hands and we've opened up their pores, right? So if you sanitize their hands and your hands every time, it will make sure that they're going to have a clean surface when they touch wherever they go, whether it's their legs, whatever, you touch it as soon as it's waxed, right? So sanitize your hands. Who wants to go first?
Me.
You're okay, Miss Sumer Online?
Yeah, I guess.
I have like 80,000 hits on one of them. I'm like, what is this? People call me from like Australia asking if I teach classes there with the clear strips. Crazy. So, you might become Insta fame right now.
Oh, let's hope.
Alright, so sanitize your hands. The wax that I use is Vivon. It's from Aesthetics International. I do some of their advanced classes. They're aromatics, so they're in Camarillo. I've used the same wax forever, and they have an after wax calming spray. The reason I like this wax is because the spray takes it off of anything. If I put wax on her whole brow and went, oh, shoot, that's not what I would really say, trust me. But I could take it off with this oil and we'd be in good shape, okay? So, or if I'm at someone's house and I spill this everywhere, it will clean up. I'm very clumsy. I spill, I went to beauty school, therefore I'm all over the place, okay? Are you ready?
Ready.
Do you want your same shape?
Pretty much.
Okay. All right, when I do brows, I start like this. You see? So how I measured the inside, you guys all have the Milady's textbook, right?
Yeah.
So they show you those 3 points on the brows, right? You're gonna make that on the eyebrow itself with a white pencil, all right? I don't do this every time, but when I teach it, this is how you can see on everybody's face how a brow should be, okay? Then what I'm gonna do, you see how I went to the angle here? It's gonna give it the point. So you're gonna start right here, and then you're gonna kitty corn it. You can also be fancy and just lift up the eyebrow. You see where it lifts up? That's where her point should be. And if you see by my measurements, they end up being the same. Make sense? So this is how you can get the brows to frame each person's face. Lovely. All right? The end of the brows, and it just depends on the person, but they can be shorter or longer, but they really should go from the edge of the nose here straight down. You see that? My hands are freezing. See? All right, then I just connect the dots. That's it. You can get your white stick at the dollar store. You can get it, you can pay one at MAC for $18, whatever you prefer. It's just a white pencil. Mine's Wet n Wild. All right, so when I connect, I'm gonna take the bottom and the top. Do you see that? Now I'm gonna go down. You guys see? It's all right that I went down because all the hair that's above the white is gonna stay. So then they can see what shape it is. So sometimes people have brows that are really thick right here. This is where you're gonna notice the difference and create the illusion of it looking more of like a high arch. I'm looking up. Who does the brow person here? All right? Oh, I could do your brows. Oh, wait a second. There she is. Look at her. See this? How it's like hair and then it thins out? To create a better shape on her, we need to angle that right there. That's what's going to make her brow stand out. Like, we call them the Fergie brows. They're like defined. Okay? So it will just open up her whole eyes. She'll have more space here. And it will just brighten her up. Her brows are already, like, literally, I'm going to pull 3 hairs off. So, but that's okay. Most of my clients come like that because people become very anal about their brows. Okay?
You can do my brows if you want.
Yeah, girl, you're next. Please. You're waiting in line, right? Well, I always microwave my wax, and it just needs to be like honey consistency. You see how it's dripping off like that?
Yeah.
And it's not bubbling up on my stick? If it's not bubbling on my stick, it's not going to burn the face. If it falls off like Winnie the Pooh honey, you're in good shape. If you're like waiting for it to drip off, it might be too cold. What kind of wax are you guys using?
Well, I do.
Is that what you guys have here is Gigi?
Yeah.
So just because you're taught on a line doesn't mean you have to stick with that.
We have Vivant too.
Vivant, Gigi's a hard wax. It's a honey base. And you also find out that a lot of people are allergic to honey. However, for teaching purposes, it's really easy to work with and it's really easy to get. Does that make sense? So if you like working with it, it's great. I use it as a backup all the time. My base is a resin base. Resin base is just a little bit less sticky. So it does, do you see how it's not like falling off my stick? So I always start in the middle. I'm going to go in between my white lines. I know they tell you just put it on, like, you know, I'm showing you like you can be messy about it. It's cool. And it will still work. One strip. Okay? It's off. I normally do them either way. So I just folded it, okay? because I pay for these.
I love it.
So instead of doing the whole eyebrow top at once, you want to do the whole brow in like sections, all right? That's what's going to give you that sharp point. So I'm going to do the top. And I'll have to reheat this because I know it's going to get dry. So you see it just cleans it up?
So you're not blowing it out against the way the hair goes?
Well, this one I'm laying it, yeah, this on the top here, I will, but on the, like, when I do arms and Brazilians and all that, I can do full arms and legs in 10 minutes. So, time is money, right? Brows are a little different, because that's pretty much the way the hair grows.
Do you finish them up with tweezers, or can you do the arch completely with just the wax?
I do it completely with wax. Okay, so you see I did the tops? Now I'm going to go the other side and do the other top. Don't do one eyebrow, then the other brow. You want to do tops, bottoms, okay? Yeah, you can use this cloth until it doesn't use anymore. That's fine, but only on the same person. Like, don't be like using your Brazilian wax on the next person's eyebrows. Not cool. Not cool. So I've used it the first one, right? And did the middle, then I folded it, then I did the top on one side, now I'm flipping it. So this is waxy, but it's not going to stick to me, okay? Or her.
Can you wax over the same area
Yeah,
twice?
I can, yeah, definitely. Whatever they tell you that you can't, that's just a precaution so you don't lift the skin. But if you're waxing properly, when you do Brazilian waxing, the hair goes in 100 different directions. So you have to go over a different, you know.
Is it just because of the wax that you're using? Or just with any wax?
With the wax that I use, I can re-wax over. I don't use other wax, so I can't really testify on that one. I don't know. I think Gigi wax, the honey, lifts the skin a lot easier. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you may have tried to do it and then you get like the little bit of lifting. That's because the honey's really sticky. All right, so you guys see? I trim after I do the top. So you can get those little spoolies, one of these things, right? Yeah, mascara wand. You can use that as a brush, but you can't reuse those on other people. So then you're paying for more things, right? So I just use my spoolie. It's because I have a tattoo of a spoolie here.
That's funny.
So you guys are cosmetologists. I don't really need to go over this. If you pull the hair straight up and cut, what are you going to get? You're going to, who said blunt? Yes, girl. You said blunt? Awesome. Alright. So you get a blunt cut if you pull it straight up. But if you pull it up and over, what kind of cut are you going to get? It's going to lay down, right? So when you're doing eyebrows, you pull it all up and over to the inside towards the nose, this way, okay? And you cut. But if you pull it straight up and cut, you're going to get old man blunt cut brows. You've seen the old men who have cut their brows in the mirror and it's just this big cut. But if he would have just lifted his finger and pulled it over and then cut, it would fall. Got it? It's like bangs. And I don't cut hair, but I know it does that like layering thing. Okay? So I'm pulling it up. Anything over? I'm trimming. Alright? I can trim more at the end, but I like to get the big long ones done. She's pretty good about that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put this in more.
How about this one's right here?
Underneath?
No, like on the side. Like, because you just
Here?
cut this. Yeah, no, but the...
Oh, I cut those at the end? Girl, please. I wanna be standing here when it, okay?
What about gloves?
Okay, so gloves, I sanitize. That's very, to me, I don't wear gloves when I do Brazilian, and you've asked me this, and it's on your channel. The reason is because they'll stick. I stick. I'm allergic to the latex, so it's each individual's preference. I don't use gloves. You guys don't use gloves when you wash hair a lot of times. There's a lot of skin conditions that are worse than just waxing an eyebrow. Plain and simple. I don't use them. Everybody asks me. I can teach you to use them. You can slap gloves on. But with the Brazilian, I get all up in there, and then I wash my hands and I sanitize. So if there's a bleeding wound or if it looks scary to me, I'm out.
Yeah.
Right?
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah, if I see it, I've done it for 20 years and I'm fine. Does that make sense? Now, if I slit my hand open and I've got like this, yeah, I'm going to wear gloves for the day. But I do not wear gloves unless, and I teach manscaping. I do full Brazilian on men. It's a lot harder with gloves. You're sticking, and then it hurts. So you're going to find if you go and get Brazilians, a lot of people do and a lot of people don't. The ones that do are the ones who are working in like very medically spas, but most of the people who have their own little spot, it makes it a lot harder. So this is going to be the weirdest part is I'm going to cover the hole underneath and then I'm going to pull it down so that it makes it so I don't have to tweeze, okay? And so you guys see I threw wax all down here. I'm going to take the back of my stick now and I'm going to now pull every little hair into the wax.
Did you just learn this by doing it?
Yeah. I went to school. It worked. All right, so you guys see how I pulled that all off? So it makes it one even. Because did you see how I pulled it down? I was pulling the hairs I want into the wax. Make sense? So this, you know, because I do facials, they think I'm really just like massaging them, but I'm just getting that white stick off. But then they'll be like, oh, do you do facials? And then you can add those skills on. Because you guys can rub people's faces too and be fancy face washers. All right, so you see her brows? They were good to begin with. So I just cleaned them up. I just defined them more, that's all.
Yeah.
I wish I had a mirror to show you, but I just cleaned them. Great. So if you really want to see a difference, we're going to go ahead and do hers.